Thanks for choosing this Coins Age Media podcast. Tell me this before we get going with this show. Are you into video blogs on YouTube? Well, if you are, Fatboy Rodders right here has got a vlog channel called Here's Rodders Vlogs, and that channel consists of a middle-aged, kind of a fat man trying to find a better life for himself, offering as much inspiration and motivation as he can along the way. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, check out Here's Rodders Vlogs over on YouTube and get subscribed, and don't forget to turn that bell notification on. Right, let's get going with this audio podcast. Hey legends, welcome along to the Hellmouth Hotline. I'm your host, Rodney Stewart. We're going to get on to the Hammer collection once more with a little movie called Prehistoric Women. Now, I'm not going to get into any major detail on it now. We'll leave that for the bulk of the episode. But we're coming up very swiftly to the end of the Hammer collection. We've only got, 7 more episodes after this here to finish off the Hammer collection, or the collection and the box set that I have. And then after that, we're getting into the classic TV series, The Hammer House of Horror. So we're going to be skipping between that and Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the incoming weeks. So let's get into this episode, and I hope you enjoy it. I got out of focus slightly. Sorry about that. If you're listening to the audio podcast, that's probably the biggest pain in the butt for you to listen to, is me talking about, gosh, my camera is out of focus. That's a big problem. Whereas you're sitting and you're listening to an audio podcast where you can't see me, which is probably a good thing, and you're like, catch yourself on, you big Irish idiot. So, right, Hammer horror time once again. This one's Prehistoric Women from 1967, and it stars Martine Beswick, Michael Latimer, Carol White, Stephen Berkoff, of course Hammer Film Productions with 7 Arts. This film here, there's a lot going on in it. It's going to be hard to get really detailed for a couple of reasons. Now, first of all, there's a part of the film where it drops, there's a part of a movie, almost every movie, where you've got the old guy turns up, kind of like an Obi-Wan Kenobi figure. He drops the knowledge. You sort of need to know where we're going to go or what happened in the past in the films. And unfortunately, that this guy was watching on the box set had a little bit of a, not a script, but almost like a little bump in it, and it kind of kept skipping, and I lost about 3 minutes in the middle of the film, but I got the general idea where we're going. Basically, the quick synopsis that IMDb would give you: jungle guide David Marchand is kidnapped by a tribe of natives who want to sacrifice him to their white rhino god. Just as he's about to be killed, however, he is thrown backwards in time to a kingdom of brunette women and their blonde slaves. David rejects the advances of Queen Carrie and sides with the blondes, which leads him to being imprisoned in the dungeon. Can David find some way of returning to his own time? And if he does, what will be awaiting him when he returns? Just to give a little bit of credit in that there, that's off IMDb, just a quick first review, and it was written by John Mark Rocher. So yes, this movie, absolutely beautiful. It starts out, he's a guide, he's got some rich guy with him that's obviously paid to go out to hunt tigers, and he's going to take the shot early the guide stops him. He says, "Don't do it. Wait till you get a clear shot." Of course, this rich aristocratic tube decides that, I'm going to take the shot I want to take, and he wings the tiger and it runs off. So he's sent off packing back to camp, and Merchant disappears out on his own to try and finish this tiger off and not let it suffer. So off he goes. He gets captured with this one tribe that tries to kill him. He goes back in time, as that little review just said, and a lot of stuff happens in there. And as I said, there's a couple of minutes in the movie, and I think it's something that I really did need to hear, but it didn't ruin the film for me in what way. No way, shape or form. The film is absolutely beautiful, unlike some of the other movies that I've reviewed in the series, the Hammer movies, where I normally like, they're kind of like a slow burn, give them a bit of time to get going. This one here kind of, it starts off, we're in the thick of things. He's tracking down this tiger. It's building quite a bit of suspense from just a few minutes into the movie, and it kind of keeps the foot on the accelerator at a nice steady pace the entire way through the film. Yes, by the end of the movie, he does get back to his own time after the two tribes that he meets. The one tribe wants to kill him, he gets transported back, and there's two more tribes, blonde hair, brown hair, gets caught up among them. The matriarchal society, he discovers that the men that are there are locked up in prison. That's where he meets the Obi-Wan character, and yes, he eventually he falls in love with one of the blonde girls, and he eventually manages to get an uprising out of them, which starts a fight between the brown haired girls, the blonde haired girls, which breaks out into the other tribe, and all over this rhino god figure that everything is the way it is because of this white rhino, the whole legend of it. And there's a part in there where it's like everything's going to stay like this until this is destroyed, this white rhino god thing. So yes, by the end of the movie that kind of happens. He gets out of the whole situation, he goes back home, but he's missing the woman that he fell in love with from the blonde tribe. And we finish off where he meets some new people that are coming into camp, and there's a girl with them that looks exactly like the blonde girl that he left behind in the jungle. Now, that could have been more detailed. I don't think it was a very good review at all, but there you go, and there you have it. Again, this movie here, the set pieces in it are absolutely fantastic. Like, obviously a lot of it is sets, but it is absolutely unbelievable the amount of detail that they actually went into on the sets of this movie. Absolutely brilliant. The part at the beginning where he's hunting down the tiger, there's a section where it is crawling up on him, and it's up above, and it's going to jump down on him. That there is insanely well done. I think, just looking at it, I believe it was a split screen where he was safe enough to do his part of the acting, and then they kind of split the screen in half, and then you had the tiger coming in for the kill. But it is absolutely flawless between the two shots. Having said that, there just could have been an insanely well trained tiger. But anyway, this movie is very, very good, and I really do recommend you checking it out. This has been a production of Coins Age Media. Thank you so much for listening.